in the United States. This is Mike North, early Bears special, and there he is in living color. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
I'm feeling good, Aldo. Everything's going great. I've never felt better. A little burned out from all the gambling I've been doing. You know, we never talk about burnout. And, well, quite frankly, I mean, when you get to be my age, you wake up and you go, I'm burned out, and then you lay down for a couple more minutes. But seriously, I mean, yesterday was a great day. I went 2-0 with the odds couple. I had Tulane kick some butt. What was the other game I had? Toledo kick some butt.
Nice.
Then I didn't bet Michigan. Okay. I bet a late game last night, won that one. What the hell was it? I forget. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here, because every day the grind, it continues. The other night I bet the USC game. At halftime, I went to bed. I woke up. I'm wondering if I wake up at 4 a.m. Did I win? Did I not? I'm not going to check. At 4:01, I'm going, I won. Thank God. You know what I mean? So I'm checking my bets at 4:01 in the morning,
Amazing.
I mean, when most people are checking on their children or, sleeping, whatever. I'm like this going, did USC lose? I mean, but it's a great life. Have no complaints. Good to see you, my friend. You're looking good. Feeling chipper, I can tell. We got some football to play today. What can I tell you?
Yeah, it's life. But I got to tell you, man, the life of a professional handicapper like you is, it's not just the money you yourself are investing in games, but it's also your word going out to millions of people. It's
right.
Huge.
Well, that's why, when I had the bets this weekend, I mean, I go to bed on Saturday night 2-0 for the odds couple for the ESPN 1000 crowd. Last week, for instance, I gave everybody the Bears we pushed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We had Detroit. It did okay. I had Jacksonville last week. The NFL's been a tough one this year, but things are going pretty well right now. I'm starting to get my post-game legs ready to go. And I don't know who Jalen Carter is. Please, somebody explain that to me. Yeah, I thought he was one of the Backstreet Boys. I have no idea. This is when people start naming people that I'm supposed to know all these guys in these draft picks. Just once they have the Bear uniform on, then let's see what they can do. I've heard it all. Okay. So, but it's interesting. I'll look him up. Who is he, Aldo? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, he's the big nosed or defensive tackle from Georgia, and he plays that important 3-tech position in this type of defense that the Chicago Bears have. Jalen Carter.
There's only one issue I have. If they lose him, maybe Georgia couldn't beat the Bears then. That would be a problem.
That would be a problem.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, to me, I watched Georgia yesterday. I like Michigan. Mm-hmm. Michigan comes out there, and they're giving Purdue 17.5, and they just roll. They beat them. They play good defense. They run the football. McCarthy getting the job done. So, he's playing much, much better football, even though, I mean, they're undefeated. Clemson, I had last night against North Carolina. That's what I was trying to remember. So they win that football game. So it's been fun. But here's my point about expanding the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go to 12 teams. I get all that. That's great. I mean, and for gamblers, it's even better.
Yeah.
And for one of our sponsors. And by the way, speaking of sponsors, David Spada, how you doing, buddy? Prop Swap, they'll get more action, But yesterday will be irrelevant. What I'm talking about now is gone forever. The conference championships won't matter because TCU loses yesterday. They still deserve to be a top 4 team, but Kansas State would get in. Also, Alabama's going to get in. Okay, they're worried about Alabama getting in. They play one of the weakest schedules going. I don't care what anybody says. They play one less conference game than the other conferences, but that's beside the point. Maybe you get Alabama in. All these games yesterday that I'm bragging and talking and crying about, either way, won't mean a thing. And that's the downside to this because they love their conference championships TV. Mm-hmm. That's money. That's free money for them. That's an extra game. But just like with USC, losing to Utah, who I had on the odds couple the other night. Those conference championships knock your top maybe playoff team out. USC was ready to go. And I would ask everybody this about the way they used to do it.
Mhm.
We used to just go, yeah, those 4 teams are the best. Okay.
Mhm.
If there were no games yesterday, okay, or Friday, if that was basically that's it, everybody would be going, oh, USC deserves to be in. They're going to go. And they would have gone. But they played the game and lost. And the nonsense I heard before, well, they shouldn't have beaten Utah the first time. It's all about propaganda. But if they don't play another game, USC's in.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
So I'm glad they're going to the playoff system. It's going to be more exciting, but yesterday will never happen again once that happens.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've always wondered, if a team wins their conference championship game, why are they being excluded from the top 4? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Why did they have a top 4 when there's 5 power conferences?
Thank you.
You're leaving somebody out that voted for the damn system.
Exactly.
And then, see, they should have probably gone to 8 from the
Mhm.
beginning. But these people, they have something that's dangerous. College people, college athletics, they have something that's very, to me, dangerous. Journalists, people that go to Medill and Northwestern and Syracuse, they have something that really gave me the advantage in my career. They have degrees, which automatically makes them think they're smarter than everybody. Okay. And these are a bunch of grown men that said we have 5 power conferences. Let's have a 14 playoff system. Bunch of morons. And it's been forever. Let 4 high school dropouts like myself get in there. We would have gotten a better damn structure. Period. Period.
Let's hear it for high school dropouts, everybody.
Yes. You want me to start naming them all? You want me to name? I was thinking of doing a book on high school dropouts who have achieved.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start off with Frank Sinatra. Let's move on. Okay. Then we can go locally. Steve Dahl.
Steve Dahl, a broadcasting legend.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I follow when I hear people drop out of high school and they're tagged. We were tagged,
Mhm.
but then you make it. I always said, I don't think, education's at an all-time low. So maybe this would encourage kids to drop out. But I was always thinking of doing a book on the 100 top high school dropouts in America history.
That is cool.
But then you got to keep Hugh Hefner out.
Oh,
You got to keep guys out. But, I don't know. Maybe Bob Guccione dropped out of high school, the guy from Penthouse. I have no idea.
I don't think he ever went to high school.
By the way, I got a haircut today. It looks like BB missed me with the axe. But
No, it looks good. I like it.
yeah. Why? Reminded me of when I used to go. Back in the day, there was a barber on. I lived at 5793 Ridge, Six Flat, growing up. And, hey, Matt, and we had a barber down the block on Ridge Avenue, about 5800, kitty corner from the old Truck 47 firehouse on Ridge between Hollywood and Glenwood. And he was a barber that had full stock of all the Smut magazines. It would be great. People would walk in, there'd be 4 12-year-olds like this. Those were the days, my friend.
Oh, I'll never forget him. Hey, Laz, our good friend Laz, his wife, who is Puerto Rican, has a birthday, and he wants me to say happy birthday in Spanish. Feliz Navidad a la señora Doña Laz, y vete esta noche a bailar salsa y cocinar y cochifrito y todo eso. What do you think about that, Mike?
There's +4 today. I enjoyed the Spanish. I did.
I'm not sure.
We were so stupid back then. The nuns would tell us. I took French.
Oh,
They
really?
thought French was going to be in the 60s.
Why?
They thought French was the second language. Spanish wasn't even on the, any other wasn't even on the horizon.
That's weird.
Okay. So, basically I wasted my time.
They thought the French Canadians were going to invade us.
They thought the French people, most people in grammar school in the 60s, If they taught a language, most of those schools were, especially Catholic, where they taught you French.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, there's a little football game going on today. It's the Bears and Packers, the longest rivalry in NFL sports, in NFL history.
It's not a rivalry.
Yeah, it's not a rivalry, but here's what I was thinking. I actually totaled up how many games you must have seen since the early 1960s, and it's like over 120. I mean, maybe you've missed some because of illness.
120 games since 1960.
Yeah, well,
there's more than 120 games, right?
Well, there's 2 every year, right?
And the Green Bay games.
Green Bay and Bears.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. I've seen them all. Bart Starr, from Nitschke to Forrest Gregg. Look, I respected Green Bay. We didn't hate Green Bay. We hated Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
We hated the Cowboys. We respected Green Bay. I had nothing against Paul Hornung, nothing against Forrest Gregg, nothing against Bart Starr. These guys were all class acts. Bart Starr was a class act.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, Ray Nitschke was from Proviso West. He went to Proviso.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the 2 great middle linebackers born in Illinois, Dick Butkus being the other.
Right.
I mean, so Willie Wood, Vince Lombardi. I mean, my God, you look down 90 miles away, you go, unbelievable. And when Lombardi took them over in 59, they sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, he goes, if you guys don't do what I tell you, I'm going to have you all killed. And all of a sudden, I mean, basically, he coached out of fear.
Yes.
He coached out of fear. I'm going to take your job. Jim Ringo came in with the story, the center of the team. He comes in with an agent.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince Lombardi goes, okay, guys. And he never met with an agent before. And Vince Lombardi says, why don't you guys wait outside for a second? I got one more thing to do. They come back in 5 minutes later. Lombardi traded him to Philadelphia. He said, I don't deal with agents.
Wow.
Traded him. You could look it up. Wow. He came in with his agent, said, hey, I'm an all-pro. We're looking good. Let's go. He goes, yeah, let's go. Here's a ticket. You're going to Philadelphia.
Yeah, let's go. All right.
You got to drive to Milwaukee. Okay.
Right.
We land by seaplane here. You know what I mean?
John says that the Bears-Packer rivalry lost its fastball when Mike McCaskey fired Mike Ditka.
Absolutely. Yeah. When him and Forrest Gregg went at it, there was no love lost. They hated each other, I think, as football players. That's when you hated people because they were taking money out of your pocket. That's when playoff shares meant something. The Bears, I still contend, and I know OB wouldn't be happy about this, but, I mean, Paul Hornung had 172 points in a season. Okay, I think it was 1962. In 1963, he gets banned for gambling. Okay, doesn't play and we win. My contention is if Paul Hornung plays, we don't win the championship in 63.
Yeah, we didn't have much of an offense then. We won.
Well, no, and you know what? And he was offense.
Right.
And then he had Jimmy Taylor. He had Paul Hornung. I mean, I loved Boyd Dowler. I mean, I remember him like it was yesterday. Max McGee, you know, Skoronsky, Ron Kramer, Jerry Kramer. I mean, I got them all. I'll name every Packer player, but I knew every player on every team back then. I didn't know where Lake Titicaca was when it came to geography. If the nun would have only asked me, give me Green Bay starting offensive line, I graduate with honors.
Let me ask you this. Now, so over the years, has your dislike or hatred of the Packers increased?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, just you know, the overrated Aaron Rodgers, the stat stuffer. The guy that's a regular season hero. Aldo knows I introduced that jargon right here on this show, I believe. And maybe on Fox Sports Radio back in the day with Jonas Knox and Andy Furman. But that's what these guys are. The Packer quarterbacks and the teams. I mean, people forget about the teams.
Yeah.
You know, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers are what I call regular season heroes. And so are those teams. The guys you look at are going to be the Mahomeses, but Mahomes got to put another one up. Got to put another Super Bowl up. Because he's a stat stuffer, but he's got already one Super Bowl. But that, who knows what's going to happen, you know, for the rest of the year. I mean, Everybody thought he was going to win it 2 years ago, and old man Brady came in and won it, another one.
Yeah, about that.
I mean, I think it's amazing that we're playing 17 games now, and we've expanded the playoffs. And in the NFC South, the lead team is 5-6. It's just a joke.
That's not right.
What are you going to do? We're in the wrong division.
All right, everyone in the chat room and those watching on Twitter and all our other feeds are wondering your thoughts about Justin Fields being taken off of the injury list and now will start against the Green Bay Packers.
Well, last week there was some more shenanigans. Now I didn't, have to worry about that, but the Bears basically didn't say who was going to start for them till an hour before game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I heard Paul Howard. I didn't worry about that, but that's a problem the NFL continues to have. Is Aldo and I and Carmen and I've been shouting this for 2 to 3 weeks, and it's been happening every week. So the Bears didn't have even a guy ready to go an hour before game. They didn't know who was going to even start.
Mm.
That being said, the best way to win this game is with Justin Fields. I have a sore toe. I've had it for a month. I didn't know a separated shoulder. I know you're 23 years old, but it's healed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's not the throwing shoulder. The only chance they have of winning is if he plays.
Right.
And I look at the spread 4, and I see the dominance of Green Bay. I see it's like if you look up on my Twitter feed at North to North, Dan McNeil goes over the rivalry, which isn't a rivalry today. But I look at the spread, and Danny thinks they're going to get their heads handed to them again. We've all been burned by the Bears when we bet them at least once or twice in our lives with Green Bay.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not ashamed to say I'll probably take a flyer on the Bears today +4. I don't think he's got the playmakers. I'm not going to deny Aaron Rodgers is a heck of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's got – Sterling Sharp ain't walking through that door. Jordy Nelson ain't walking through that door. Clay Matthews ain't walking through that door. They used to have 3-4 playmakers on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I know they got a good running back, but so do we. I look at basically a New England type situation here today. I don't think the Packers scare anybody defensively. I don't think Aaron Rodgers scares anybody with the pieces he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's been able to perform some miracles, and here's where he's wrong. Jordy Nelson was great. Sterling Sharp, some of these guys, not Sharp, a lot of Devontae Adams was great for them.
Mm-hmm. Freeman.
He acted like he's always done this alone. No, now you'll see.
Yeah.
And the Bear line is so low. I had the Bears are, but see, Green Bay is bad, but by their record alone against the Bears, you'd think that the spread would be at least 6. 6 or 7. So.
Yeah, I think they're looking at the way the Packers have been performing lately,
right.
And it's not been good. Although, one thing you mentioned about weapons, one weapon that is emerging is that wide receiver, the rookie.
That's the one guy I think they got in the running back. I should give him credit, Jones. But you're right, Lazar.
No, I'm talking about Christian Watson, the rookie, who's caught like 7 touchdown passes in the last 4 or 5 weeks. So he's starting to turn it on. He had 3 touchdown passes, catches in one game.
But they don't have. I understand what you're saying, and maybe he will turn it on today too. Else, I get what I was talking about the cachet, the Pro Bowlers.
Sure.
Guys that catch 100 passes. But you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But then I look at the Bear side of it. Herbert getting hurt wasn't a good thing,
right?
But I see the Bear running game today. To me, I think. Over under rushing, I'd bet the over if it was at 160 yards, 170.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears put up 200 yards because of Justin regularly. Here's the deal. How will he decide I don't want to run?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want to put myself out there anymore? And will they try to hurt him? But then you got to pass the football, okay, which is his shortcoming right now. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not as scared of Green Bay as I've been in the past.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Jasper wants to know what's the shelf life of a running mobile quarterback in the NFL now.
I said 4 years on AM 1000 and on the bar room consistently. Eldo knows that. I'm going to maybe 3.5, 4. I don't see it any higher unless Justin and the Bears figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I I still think they kept him in too long for that game when he was already hurt.
Right.
I didn't think they treated him like he's not their pick, but I didn't think they treated him like a franchise quarterback type of situation. Maybe they don't think he is. Here's what he needs. He needs to win a game.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said it the other day. You can put up all the points you want. The last 4 minutes of the game, he gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
He's done. Put up all the points you want. If we're winning, he's not going to get it done. And that will stay with him till he gets it done. And maybe today he gets it done. Because I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is playing with Cub Scout Pack 248 from Swift School. If those are his players. If you beat Aaron Rodgers with the G on the helmet, that's a feather in the whole team's cap.
I'm with
Justin
you.
Fields.
I'm with you. You know, a lot of people have been talking about sitting him for the rest of the season. That's ridiculous. He needs these snaps. He needs to prove that he can play 4 quarters of excellent football.
Yeah.
And as you just said, and I'll underline it, is that when the game is on the line and you've got the ball with 2 minutes to go, you've got to get the points.
And he's had it numerous times the past 4, 5, 6 weeks. It started with the Washington overthrow, and it's continued on where they know he's got to pass the football. You rush 3, 4 guys, even, you keep everybody up a little bit. You keep the safeties back. You take away his run, maybe. Now he's got to pass the football.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different ball game. And you're right about that, Ralph. I mean, here's the other side of it. I mean, is this a 31-30 game? I mean, because the Bears can't stop the run, and they can't stop the pass.
Mm-hmm.
And now Eddie's hurt. Eddie Jackson's hurt. He was having a pretty good year.
Yes, he was.
And we traded those other pieces. So, yeah, it could be a disaster today.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep looking at that spread. I'm going, you're out. Everybody in America should bet Green Bay based on the past 20 years. Walk away, say goodbye. I'll pick up the money later. And then some funny things happen sometimes. You go to pick up the money, and they put like the shade comes down. That says Bears win. Of course, that doesn't happen often.
Doon, 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 doon. Let me in. There's nobody home. I love it. All right, so let's take a look at some of the NFL action, and we'll start with that Bears game. I think I've got a graphic up. Oh, where are my graphics?
I love when you have graphics up.
Yeah.
Aldo puts his heart into this show.
I do.
I mean, to just get up means you got heart.
Exactly. Just to roll out of bed at this hour of the day.
I woke up this morning. I said, God, I look pale. But I didn't look when I woke up. That was an hour later. It takes time.
It does take time, especially when it's cold outside.
Oh, I walked the dog today.
Uh-huh.
Me and BB walked the dog today. And the first thing I think of was those 2 guys on the Titanic. Those lookouts. You see anything? No. It was cold.
I saw a clip the other day of Leonardo DiCaprio being asked, hey, don't you think there was more room on that door for you to squeeze in next to your actress? And he says, no comment. And he kept being asked about that. He said, no comment, no comment. He was laughing about it, but he clearly knew that was a...
Well, James Cameron said today men need to get rid of their testosterone, that the Avatar guy. He says men need to get rid of. I didn't know you could get rid of it. Number one, I think
That's right.
hey, leave me. But now I'm understanding why he wouldn't let Jack on the board. Okay, you got too much testosterone, so just die, and we'll have the chick blow a whistle.
That's hilarious.
And first of all, at that point, and I love Kate Winslet. I love her.
Yeah.
Okay, I adore her. But at that point, that it was floating that easily.
Yes.
Because she wasn't a slight woman. You know what I mean? I mean, I get on the rubber raft in the pool and I go overboard. You know what I mean? I jump on the raft and it goes down. She's on the door like it's got flotation devices on it.
That is so true. All right. What intrigues me here is, Mike, is that I heard you say this could be a 31-30 game, and the over-under right now is set at 45. I'm tempted to bet the over on this game because, one thing that Aaron Rodgers does well is that he will take advantage of a secondary that is hurt, and the Bears secondary is hurt with Brisker out, Eddie Jackson out, Kyler Gordon out. Those are 3 out of the 4 starters in the defensive backfield. So Rodgers should be able to carve up this Bears defense, and hopefully Fields will score tons of points. I'm not picking the Bears to win or even cover, but I think that the 45 is intriguing to me.
Well, it is, and I think the thing you got to worry about is Rodgers knows he doesn't have the weapons, so they're going to run. Fields has weapons. I mean, I think if you asked Aaron Rodgers, now Mooney's out too. That sucks because he was starting to come around.
Exactly.
Cole's playing. Kmet. I think before Mooney went down, I think if you asked Rodgers, Kmet, Mooney, Montgomery, or your guys, and if he was honest, he'd say, I don't know. I don't know. But here's the other side to this. Fields is going to run too. And he's going to eat up a lot of 3rd and 2s, the fake handoffs, the wishbone type of thing that I love. King Pookie Nation, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
2 of my favorite. Yeah, you're the best. I love the jersey.
Very nice.
But, yeah, I'm looking at a high-scoring game. If it ends up 20-17, I'll be stunned.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that the Bears will either win or I'll cover the spread.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping for a Bears win. I don't see them winning, but
nobody does.
Yeah, really. But I do anticipate there being a lot of points up on the board. It should be a fun game to watch.
It's only fun if Fields is there.
Yes. You ain't kidding.
No, that's what it is. It's entertainment now. The Bear fans, who cares? Look at them run.
Yeah.
Who cares about the win? Run.
Watching Nathan Peterman come out and play football for the Chicago Bears would be one of the worst things in my life. I'm telling you.
If I was 20 years younger, I know I'd be playing against them in some park league soon. No, wait, I'd be 50. Wait, if I was 40 years younger.
That's right.
I'd be playing against him like I did Avellini at Lakeshore Park. I'd be playing against Peterman at Potawatomi Park in a few years. The way that, I mean, my God. Simeon, Peterman, Jesus.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I think it's wrong though, and I think, but they just handed Fields the job. But then you see what Fields has done, you go, okay, you know,
indeed.
So they must have known, you know, that they got a shot at least with him, without legs. These, you know, because and by the way, the Bear offensive line once again not that bad, folks, not that bad. I mean, they're talking about Jenkins maybe being it was great. Some guy put on Twitter, we got at least 8, 9 Pro Bowlers. We haven't won since Christ was a child. And we got 8, 9 Pro Bowlers. So I tried to name them. I named 9 guys like Kmet, Mooney, Fields. I named 9 guys. He goes, wait a minute. 10. Santos the Magnificent you forgot to put down.
That's hilarious. I think a lot of people don't watch other NFL action. And so
the Bears haven't had 10 Pro Bowlers since Patton was a corporal. Are you out of your mind? They haven't won, I mean, in 6 weeks. I love Bear fans.
Indeed.
And the only guy that sucks apparently to some NFL analysts, and there's always bias, and they're going to cover Jack Sanborn. He's played good football. It's called instinct football. It means you don't have to run a guy down. You don't have that speed. You better be waiting for him.
Yeah, right.
And he's had some good games. So, you know, we'll see if down the line, I think he's got a spot in this team next year. So we'll see what happens there. I think there's a couple other guys that have shown. It's a shame about the injuries. I liked Brisker. I'm starting to like Brisker a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I think they got potential. But I don't know what it is with Chicago teams and the injuries. I really don't.
Yeah, something in the water, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. One of the games I wanted to.
Yeah, but because of that water, we got the excellent crust from Lou Malnati's Pizza and other pizza. They say the Chicago water is what makes the bread. I love it.
Never heard that, Mike. Never heard that in all my years here.
Hold on for a minute.
He's gonna go to the black box.
I got to go to the black box, which I haven't done recently.
Okay.
What makes Chicago pizza so good? Is it the water? Good pizza really is all about the water.
Whoa.
That's what I do. People go, Mike, you sprayed off fields. I go, I got to keep options open, even though there are none. I got to keep them open. You know what I'm saying?
When they say
I was told that it's the water in Chicago that makes the pizza crust the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you learn something new every day.
oh, wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, that's what I do. I open up people's minds.
Something I have to talk about now at
Yeah.
the Christmas table with, with the wife.
I love giving you topics on Christmas Day.
I appreciate that.
Merry Christmas. Hey, by the way, did you guys know that the water makes Chicago pizza crust good? Happy New Year.
Now get out of here. Here's your present.
Now leave me alone and let Doodles relax.
That's right. Mike, one of the games I'm really interested in watching is the Jaguars and Lions because I want to see if this Lions team is for real. What do you think? Are the Lions for real?
Well, first of all, I think that once again, the head coach of that team in the new remake of Jaws should play Quint. Okay, Campbell.
Yes.
He is Quint. I like Jacksonville today. They saved me last week from I had a good day because of Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence, I know people are going to say Fields was this. Trevor Lawrence looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe that I got to watch that piece of crap Urban Meyer here at halftime of football games. I mean, this guy is just a tragic figure in college football.
Mm-hmm.
He's a piece of crap. He told Joe Burrow to take a hike. He had to go to LSU and win a national championship. He did win national championships. I understand that. But since and his buddies keep giving him jobs. He just keeps getting jobs by the kiss-ass corporate media people that run the show. Like, people want to see his tired ass.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
Nobody cares about Urban Meyer. I'm telling you.
I'm with you.
I change the channel when he comes on.
Good for you.
You got Reggie Bush. You got Matt Leinart, 2 USC guys. Spread it out. And then you got a corrupt coach. Spread it out.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike, can you believe that the over-under is 51 in this Jags-Lions game? That's pretty
Yes. Neither one plays defense. Lawrence came back from behind. I think that people tend to look at what happened the last game. Just be careful here. But, yeah, they're capable, just like the Bears and Packers, of putting up 60 because of there's not a whole lot of good defenses in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back in the day, I hate to go back in time, folks, but I remember, 85, 86, 87, 88. Defenses, Redskins, Giants, Cowboys, Bears, oh my, and more. There's none. There's like 4 or 5. That's it. And I remember when the league had nothing but great quarterbacks. And that's going away too. I mean, they give all this money to the kid from Arizona, Kyler Murray. What are you doing? And then you got to put a clause in his contract that says, promise you'll study film for 4 hours. The nun should have put that in my contract. Promise you'll do your homework. My God, that's like a child. Crazy.
I love it. Jets and Vikings. We never heard of Mike White until last week, and now this is his game against the Vikings, who are playing fairly well. They're definitely going to win the division and go to the playoffs. What do you think about this game?
Well, what I thought of last week is if Mike White could run, he'd be a dual-purpose quarterback, okay, because he looked great. And if Justin Fields could pass, he'd be a dual-purpose quarterback because basically one guy's a better we're waiting for Justin Fields, and this guy comes walking off the street and starts lighting people up. So that's the thing. One guy can pass, and how long will it be? But he did a good job, and they benched the other kid. Because the other kid didn't take the responsibility when they lost that Justin Field took. See, you know what happened to me? I'm a competitor, and I'm an underdog guy. Justin Fields has made me like him. He's made me like him, regardless of his talent. Good, bad, or indifferent. He's made me like him because he kills himself to win. I cannot ever give him any other praise than that. And I've said that in a lot of venues. And I wasn't against him. I was against how they did the quarterback and Trubisky. I was against it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Fields is 5-17, so it's not just his fault. But I can't really criticize a guy that's got some balls on him. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy's playing with the separated shoulder. I don't care. He's still playing hurt today.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I have ultimate respect for him.
Yeah. He deserves our respect. There's no
That's
doubt
right.
about it. He is a true.
I don't care. You got to win sooner or later, kid, and I will criticize you on your football playing. But on your spine, on your mentality, this year on your football only focus, big fan.
Yeah, how about it? I'm with you 100% on that. Washington Commanders are visiting the Giants, and this is the game I think where the Giants are going to be finally fully exposed, and they're going to lose big against the Commanders, even though the Giants are at home. What's your take on this one?
My take on this is simple. First of all, Ron Rivera is one of the best coaches in football. Washington could have thrown in the towel early. The Bear game gave them new life, and they've been sort of like rolling ever since. Ron Rivera has done a good job. Heineke has come in, and I think something like when he starts, they're like 9-2 or something, and they cover the spread every time. He's 11-1 covering the spread. Okay,
nice.
That being said, I got my first pick of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they'll be dancing in the streets of, well, New York. And then somebody will hit them with somebody with a baseball bat and everybody will run. Take the Giants +2.
Giants +2. I got you down.
That's it.
Titans are playing the Eagles. This is a game of two superpowers, so to speak. And the Titans are being given 4.5 because they're at Philadelphia. This is going to be one of the better games this weekend, and the over-under is intriguing at 44.5. What are your thoughts?
I stayed away from this game. I charted it. When I say stay away, I check them all out, and I do all the homework. You know, I don't just wake up, roll over, and go, "Oh, it's 5 to 8." You know, I'm up at 4. People, you know, I'm up at 4, getting mad watching the news, and then I start handicapping. It's a stay away game. Vrabel's a great coach. Philadelphia is a heck of a team. The Tennessee on the road, I'd be interested how it'd be if Tennessee was at home. I still think they'd be getting like 2.5. I would take Philadelphia. I'm not going to bet the game, no.
Okay. Interesting. This is a good game, man. I'm tempted to bet it, but I'm going to stay away from it because the better half on this show says stay away from it. Broncos at Panthers, and the Broncos are being given 9.5 points, and that's with Russell Wilson as their quarterback. They're traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens. The Ravens I root against the Ravens because the Bears own their second-round pick, and I'd love to move up in the draft, but this is an easy win for the Ravens. Do you think they can cover the 9.5, though?
Well, first of all, I think John Harbaugh is one of the most overrated pro coaches in football. Okay. Blew a couple games last year by going for 2. Twice in 2 different games, lost both games when they could have kicked the field goal, gone into overtime. This year, I mean, Lamar, I love Jackson, but he showed, you know what? He got on social media last week, said some derogatory things to people that were giving him a hard time. He's been a good guy through this whole process. He quickly took them down, but there's pressure on him to perform. You know, he gets a lot of praise. I love him, but he's got to prove he can win the big one, too. And he's gotten them to a certain point. I think he's another guy like Justin Fields that masks a lot of problems that the Ravens have. And John Harbaugh's one of them. I know he's won a Super Bowl, but so did Brian Billick. And then he went away and you never saw him again. Harbaugh's got the name, but I don't see them winning a Super Bowl or being relevant in the playoffs until Jackson can prove I'm not going to tuck the ball and run 10 yards, I'm going to throw 30 yards. Because that's what he does now still. He likes to run that ball a lot, and I don't blame him. And he's a bigger guy to Justin Fields, but you know what? I don't think he can win a Super Bowl that way.
Yeah, he's averaging only 1 touchdown pass in his last 6 games, and so that's not good.
And I don't like either one of these teams. I'd stay away from a big point spread like that.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I'm going to stay away too. Browns at Texans. This is going to be a yawner. The Browns are giving away 7.5 points. The over-under is 46.5. And this is the debut game of Deshaun Watson. He's going back to Houston. He's going to hear the boos. I doubt anyone in that crowd is going to give him any applause. Your thoughts?
Well, he doesn't deserve any. He's a scumbag of the highest proportion. I mean, the NFL's got egg all over their face on this, been quietly kept. Journalism is lost. 22% of the people in this country believe in journalism now. Or the people that are, and that would go with the NFL media. The fact that this thing has been under the radar and, it's coming out now, but there's all sorts of sidebars. Will he be, after taking 700 days off? And by the way, he should have been suspended for the whole year. Mm-hmm. The fact that they're letting him come back now, it just makes it the problem even bigger. Understand that 10 to 12 of the accusers are renting a skybox. That's unusual. With the money that was given to them probably by Watson, we've heard everywhere from 30 to 50 people. Now, in the corporate world, if you say a woman looks nice, you could lose your job. In the NFL world, if you can have talent, you can pull the schwang out and say, ready, and have 50 to 40 or to 30 alleged victims, and he's ready to play. I mean, I just don't understand this whole thing. The NFL's trying to look for credibility in these areas, and journalists of all persuasions are being quiet about it. Mm. And I think, you know what? It's a bad look for the NFL. And they're going to hear it today. And you're right, Aldo. He will hear it.
Yeah, it's good. It's worth watching just that part of
They're
the game.
afraid to open their mouth, these people.
Yeah, it's sad.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you're an NFL journalist. Mm-hmm. And you're not writing about it? I mean, come on. What's everybody afraid of? I mean, what he did is wrong. And the fact that he paid almost everybody off. The weird thing is, if you're a victim of this guy, mm-hmm. and he sort of paid you, and I understand there's a couple that haven't been paid that are holding out, so he's playing while there's still some issues. Mm-hmm. Why would you go to the game? Right?
Right. Well, there's one woman in particular, I think she was the very first to accuse him.
Right.
I am not going to settle with this man because, number one, he has to first admit what he did to me.
And he's playing.
And he has to apologize. And so since he has not done that, and now he won't even answer questions about these therapy that he supposedly went to during this 11-game suspension. He won't answer any questions about it. And that to me is another slap.
I think the numbers are astounding. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that everybody, and I don't care, men, women, journalists of the NFL, shame on y'all. Mm-hmm. Shame on y'all, man.
Yep.
My God.
Indeed.
I mean, and that goes for everybody. I'm not afraid to say it, man. What are you doing? Aldo knows this. If you work in any corporation, one man or one woman can take you down. Okay? But if you work for the NFL, you get the highest guaranteed contract ever if you're Deshaun Watson, because you got to pay everybody off.
That's right. And the interesting thing is that his contract is designed in a way that he was only getting paid like a minimum of $1 million or $2 million this season, so that when the fine was imposed for the 11-game suspension, they're only taking away like $100,000 a game. Everything is backloaded.
Roger Goodell. 44 million. You got this scandal. It's been tiptoed around by the NFL media. Period. Mm-hmm. I know this for a fact because I know the business. Mm-hmm. Radio guys are afraid to tackle it. TV people are afraid to tackle it. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what? You find one good massage person. You don't go look for 40 more. Mm-hmm. Okay? Period.
Adeptus says the NFL is like Hollywood or politics. They insulate their degenerates.
They're not only insulated, I can't believe the free pass he's really getting on this. It's a free pass. In the meantime, the Washington Commanders, who had to change their name, the ownership was talking about taking the team from Snyder because of the same thing, but you got a quarterback getting a guaranteed deal, the highest ever, over Brady or anybody else, who basically by description is a predator, and he's taking snaps today when the other guy, Brissett, has been doing better. Unbelievable.
Indeed. All right, let us move on. We won't even talk about that game anymore. Let us.
Yeah,
move
I don't
on.
have any interest in it, but I will find out. I will tune in at the beginning to see how this thing goes.
Yeah, that's news, right?
Yeah.
Seahawks are visiting the Rams. The Rams have put Matthew Stafford on IR. He is done for the season. The Rams are done for the season, and so I'm interested that the Seahawks are only giving away 6.5 points. I think they should win by a touchdown or more in this game. What do you think?
Well, the same thing would be said about the Bears with their injuries. How come they're only getting 4? But you know what? The Rams are a disaster. They're the one-hit wonders. That Matthew Stafford, he did the right thing. He went there. Okay, he'll only win 1. He was horrible this year. Aaron Donald was disinterested. When Kupp got hurt, they decided, what are we doing here? So they're folding the tent too. McVay has lost a lot of cred, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, it's been a disaster. They came in basically not as bad. I mean, worse. But they came in like the 2017 Cubs did. You know, we won last year. We're tired. We're hungover. We got a hangover from winning, so we'll not be relevant. And they told everybody that. So,
yeah, you're so
remember that?
Yeah, you're absolutely.
We came down from the scoreboard from the pennant thing. We're tired.
Yes. Well, and what bugs me, and you and I touched on this a week or two ago, is that all of these guys started talking about retirement. Aaron Donald, the head coach, Sean McVay, you know, like, I'm going to go into the broadcast booth. I'm thinking about it, you know, as he's stretching out. It's like, if you guys are talking like that, then you really don't want to come back and defend your title. That's
Aaron Donald should have retired. And whatever cachet he had the last few years, it's gone. And you know what? I mean, they blew that game against Tampa Bay. They rushed 3 guys. Aaron Donald was double teamed. He's finished. He wants to retire because basically he's done. Yeah, Matthew's right. The Rams model would fall sooner or later. They went and got some big name guys. They did get the one-hit wonder, a lot like Brady with Tampa Bay. But Matthew Stafford's not Tom Brady.
Let me ask you this. Would you prefer that the Bears try to do whatever possible to win for 1 year, or do what they're trying to do now, whether it's successful or not is another story, but trying to sustain? Really? You want the...
Well, yeah. We have the 85 Bears. We would have loved the 86, 87 to do it. But I think if you ask Ram fans, and there's 10 of them, seriously, to win a Super Bowl is huge. I mean, and that will erase 5 years. I understand people are disappointed, but they did win last year. Tampa Bay did win 2 years ago. If the Bears decided to buy, for instance, maybe I'm nuts. Sometimes I wish I had the 2018 Bears still playing. All of them, the same team. Maybe I'm nuts because I think we could have done something this year. But that's 5-4. Mac's gone. Quinn's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Trubisky's gone. Robinson's gone. Maybe if these guys are all playing still with the Bears, they've proven themselves. But, Mac's in L.A. now with no home field advantage. Mitch is in Siberia. Roquan Smith has been forgotten a little bit because a couple, even against Detroit, Sandberg had 12 tackles and 2 sacks. You know what I mean? So all these guys were let go. But if they were kept together, even this year, our team this year, I think we could have still been representative. I mean, look at Atlanta's still in it because they're in a bad division. I think that's the thing that hurts. I saw Minnesota being good, but they're better than I thought. They are. And Kirk Cousins is pretty good.
Kirk Cousins has always been undervalued, underappreciated. You know, that big contract he got, a lot of people thought that, he should be doing more, and maybe they're right, but he's a good, solid quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, can you believe, like, I was thinking about this. I think they're right now the team in the driver's seat, San Francisco, and they were going to sit Jimmy G.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I mean, first of all, rugged, handsome, articulate.
Yes.
And where are you going without an Italian on your team? You know what I'm saying? The man was born with a 5 o'clock shadow. You know what I mean?
That's right.
He's the next Zorro. He's the next Tarzan. Did anybody see The Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas? Very good movie.
Yeah, Christina
2001?
Zeta-Jones, right?
Put Jimmy G in there. Not much of a difference.
That's a good
The
point.
next Zorro.
Very good point. All right, let's go to our next game. This is one of the games of the week. It's the Dolphins traveling to San Francisco, the 49ers. I really want to see this game. I think it's the afternoon game. And, the Dolphins starting offensive tackles are both hurt, and that's really going to help hurt the Dolphins passing game. I got the 49ers in this one in a close one. What do you think, Mike?
49ers. Here, I got this. I got this for the Dolphins. Oh. GG. 22. 42. Hut. My guy. Hey, look, you got it. There's no party without an Italian or an Irishman. Look at Michigan with McCarthy. Look at San Francisco with Garoppolo. I'm blessed.
I love it. So is this one of your official picks for this week?
Well, no, but no. You want to know something? San Francisco's going to win the game today. Let's just move on.
Okay.
You went for close, but see, you went close too. So you think it might be a field goal game?
Yes, it's going to be a field goal game. I am enamored with the coach of the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel. I think he's a genius, and he's the funniest head coach that I've.
You mean the guy that played the concussed quarterback he's a genius? The guy that played him 2 more quarters when they asked him where he was, he said Guadalajara, and he's a genius.
Yeah,
okay,
that idiot.
Because he's got glasses and he's skinny. But he doesn't look like a coach.
He doesn't look like a coach. He doesn't talk like a
But
coach.
did Bill Walsh look like a coach?
No,
No.
To me, he did. To me, he was a professorial, that professorial.
Yeah.
look. I love that. I love that. I kind of prefer that over the Ditka ranting and raving approach.
What happened to you?
I went to college.
Ditka on the sidelines when he'd go, come here, was more exciting than that guy. That guy was like this all the time.
It's
We're
true.
winning again.
It's true.
I'm a genius. I got Joe Montana and then Steve Young. I'm a genius. Like this the whole time. Used to do this the whole time. Ditka's going, come here. Here's the play. And if you don't run it right, I'm going to kick your ass after the game, okay? I mean, Emery Moorhead. He grabbed a full-grown man and said, maybe you don't know who I am, but I played your position. Now get out there. That's my kind of coach. Lombardi. I mean, Lombardi, it's great. It was on Twitter one day. They showed Lombardi with the short sleeve white shirt, which they don't sell anymore, I don't believe. The short sleeve white shirt with the tie that went down to here. And the 70s guy goes, every grocery store manager. He didn't even look like a coach, Vince Lombardi. He looked like he was running Kroger. You know what I mean?
That is great.
Yeah.
All right. Another good afternoon game is this Chiefs traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. It's -2.5 Chiefs. So what do you think?
Second pick,
Really?
Chiefs.
Ooh.
I love Joe Burrow, but I can't pick him ahead of Mahomes.
Yeah.
And you know what? Cincinnati's playing good football, and they're going to have, I think, Chase back. But when you see that Kansas City's favored, make me a liar, Joe. I'm sort of treating you like Urban Meyer. You know, I don't believe in you. Make a liar out of me. You believe we got to look at Dad Putz every damn week on football? Who gave him that job? God.
I change the channel anytime I see her.
Every time. They don't. Every time.
Yep. And
Reggie Bush. They always give Reggie Bush took money, which now would be fashionable. I mean, Blue Chips, right? The movie.
Yes. Great
movie, right?
Yes.
It's passé now with the no payments. He could give Matt Nova. He could give Matt Nova a tractor now.
Yeah.
You can give these guys all that.
Yeah.
So there'd be no movie in college.
Very true.
Yep.
Very true. Joe Mando reminds us that Jamar Chase for the Bengals, a prolific wide receiver, is back, and that really should seal the deal. Bet the over, even though it's 53 points. This is going to be a high score.
Well, he's back, but they're still not favored at home. Woo.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, it's you're playing a different animal, man. I mean, Mahomes. I mean, but you better win this year. I mean, a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes to do it again, and he's such a great player. But this isn't easy, so we'll see what happens.
It's not easy indeed. All right, the Chargers are playing in Vegas against the Raiders. The Chargers are giving up 2.5, or getting 2.5. Your thoughts?
I like the Chargers in this game. I like Herbert over Carr. Carr played a good game last week. They pulled it out. But like I said last week, the only guy that makes me like Cutler more than him is Derek Carr. He's been on the team for 10 years. They've never won a playoff game. So I expect Herbert and that team to come out, but the Chargers are hard luck guys. They won last week by 1 point, barely. So, they're not all that was cracked up to be either. Herbert's looking like a stat stuffer, but all we're looking for is a win today. I would lean the Chargers.
That would be an interesting game to go to, Mike, because in the stands, you'd have probably half Raiders fans and half Taurus and Chargers fans. I mean, what's happened in the NFL with moving teams around and stuff, it's really bizarre.
Well, the worst thing they ever did was put two teams in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we went 30 years without one team in L.A. And all of a sudden we started hearing they need a team in L.A. And let's cut a deal. Let's get that brand new stadium, and then we'll get a renter.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had his own deal in Stan Kroenke. He could have built a new stadium in St. Louis, but he'd rather be a renter with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And neither team has a home field advantage at home. Neither team.
That is
when San Francisco comes, it's all red.
Mm-hmm.
When Oakland comes, or the Raiders, it's all black and silver. So this was a money deal. We didn't need one there, let alone two. And that's proven out to me a little bit. But, the stadium is beautiful. I got nothing against L.A., but they don't give a damn. They don't.
They don't
care.
They leave in the beginning of the fourth quarter to beat the traffic. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it's a joke. It is. It's a joke that they got two teams. Another Goodell folly.
Exactly. We got to count those one.
My God.
That'd be fun. All right. The final game of today is the Sunday night Colts and Cowboys game. It's at Dallas. Dallas is giving away 10.5. This should be a shellacking. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a crap game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even waste my time. Like I tell Carmen DeFalco and others, there's always other games. The money line, alone. And be careful of the money line. I had Ohio State last week on the money line. I lost. Mm-hmm. So I lost I lost on a $50 bet, $150. So the money line can bite you. So don't take anything for granted. Just stay away game for me.
All right. Mike, I heard today that Dak Prescott's name is Dak is short for Dakota. Wouldn't it be cooler if your name was Dakota Prescott? That is so cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That
like
is
Dakota Fanning?
Yes.
She played Squeaky Fromme. I loved her.
She's a good actress. Those Fanning girls are good actresses.
Yeah. She played, Dak is good. I like Dak Prescott. A lot of pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pressure on him to perform.
Yep.
Getting paid big money.
Yeah.
So
being overpaid. Overpaid.
Yeah, I think he is too.
Yeah.
I think he is too. They got a pretty good team, though. It's going to be fun playoffs. You know?
All right. So final word. Let's go over your three picks. I got you the Giants +2, the Chiefs -2.5. And did you have a third one? Did I miss it?
The Chargers, the Chiefs. Put the Bears down for me.
Okay.
+4.
Bears +4.
Yeah.
All right. And
why be completely smart? Let's just try. Let's take a chance, By the way, I want to give kudos. He's retiring.
Who's that?
Ron Gleason.
Oh, the great Ron Gleason.
From WBBM, formerly of The Score. Mm-hmm. He was my boss. He's the best program director I ever worked for. He was the right guy with a crazy group of people. Mm-hmm. He was above it all. If you get a chance, look at Friday sometimes. A nice, huge article by Jeff Agrest on it. And Ron's wife, Linda's the one that discovered me by hearing me on tape while she was in the bathroom He was in the
Oh,
bedroom
cool.
listening to a bunch of different people, and she came out. So Ron told me this. She came out. She goes, "Who's that guy?" And he said, "That's a guy named Mike North. He's a hot dog stand owner." She goes, "That's your guy." And he
Wow.
walked back in, and then I got called for an interview. Now I did know those people, the XRT people, so I probably would have been brought in anyway.
Right.
But Ron's long told I was offered the weekend job,
Mhm.
and then somebody pulled out. But I've long been told by Ron that it was Linda who heard the tape and said, "That's the guy you should go with." So thank you, Linda. That's why we still stay in touch.
I love it. I love it. That's a great that's a great story, and we'll look for that article on the Chicago Sun-Times written by Jeff Agris, who's a great follow on Twitter, by the way. I've been following him for months.
Yeah, he is, and he did a good job with that. And ESPN's going to be doing the Bear games next year, so that whole thing's going to change. I guess they're going to bring back Thayer and Joniak, but I don't know what else is going to go on.
I know what is going to go on here. We'll be back next Sunday. Actually, are we coming back next Sunday? Yeah, because even though the Bears are
is something going wrong?
Well, the Bears are on a bye, but we're still coming back, right?
Well, we'll see.
I love that response. We'll be back sometime.
We'll be back soon,
everybody. Barfly Tailgate shows.
See you later.
Take care.